Well, my friends, it is time for my July TBR, and it's going to be a little different this month. If you want to see why, just keep watching. Hello, I'm Danielle, and if this is your first time here, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you guys so much. If you end up enjoying this video or check out some of my other videos and enjoy just what I bring here on the channel, then I hope that you'll consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I would love to get to know you, so please say hello to me down in the comments. I love to be able to chat back and forth, and so yeah, definitely say hi. All right, so my June TBR, I was a little too ambitious. I did not realize that starting watching my grandson, he is 3.5 months, 3 days a week, and I watch him basically from early in the morning till evening, so it is like the full days, Monday through Wednesday. I thought, you know what, when he takes naps, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna have all this time for reading, because, I mean, what else am I gonna do? He's napping. Babies have a funny way of teaching you that you are not in control. And so I find I spend a lot of my time holding him when he's napping, or just while he's napping and I'm not holding him, I'm getting some other things done. So that means I did not read nearly as much in June as I have in the previous months leading up to it. And that is absolutely fine. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So in saying that, that is going to change what my July TBR looks like a little bit, because I need to not bring on so many books. Now I started, I believe I had 8 books that I had planned to read for June. And then I went and got my library card. I will put the video, I'll link it up here if you're interested in seeing that video. I went and got my library card after like 15 years, and I had to pick up a couple of books while I was in the library. Like, that would have been weird to go get my card and then leave with nothing. Like, who does that? So I picked up 3 books while I was there. Well, so that meant I had like 11 books, right? Is that what I had picked? I'll have to look back and I'll put it on the screen if it's a different number. You guys, my mind is just, who knows. But anyway, needless to say, I didn't get to those books in any way, shape, or form, like nowhere near. So that means my July TBR is going to roll over a little bit from my June, but then also a couple new things. So let's go ahead and get into kind of where I'm going here. First of all, I decided this is my choice to make, and this is my first time cheating on my TBR, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. But I had picked up those library books, and I wanted to read them before some of the books that I had picked for my TBR off my shelves. And one of those being Funeral Food by Kathleen Taylor. I mentioned in that video when I picked this that my husband had noticed it said that it's spicy, and I don't like spice in books. And so I was like, well, I'll read it anyway and just see what I think. I decided, you know what, I already know I'm not going to like it, so I'm not going to pick up more of the series, so why even bother to read this? So I'm not going to spend my time reading this when there's other books that I'd rather read more. So we're just going to take this. It did not get read for June, and it's going to go to a little free library somewhere where someone else can enjoy it. And then in that same realm, if you watched my June TBR, you saw me pick this book and be so not excited about it. And so it is The Pawn by Stephen James. I just hate this cover of this book for some reason. It does literally nothing for me. But it's also part of a series, and I'm like, if I'm not even excited about picking this up and it's part of a series, I just don't even want to get into that. Like, I've got enough other series and things that I am really excited about, and there are way too many books that I'm excited about to spend time on something that I'm just not. So same thing, this is just going to go to a little free library somewhere. So then the other book that I did not get to from those TBR picks was A History of Wild Places by Shea Ernshaw, and I actually am very excited to read this book. So this is definitely going to be the first book that I'm moving over to my July TBR, because it just looks so good. It sounds so good. And so I definitely want to do that. It's just like this guy who locates missing people, and there's this author who had gone missing years ago, and she had gone missing around this like little community, a reclusive community that was founded to keep out disease and things like that. And so this guy goes to look for her. Well, then he ends up going missing, and then somebody who has lived in this community his whole life kind of goes out from where he should be and discovers this guy's truck, and is like, wait a minute, now he starts having questions about this community that he's always lived in. So it sounds so incredibly interesting to me, and so I'm definitely going to read this in July. And then I did read 2 of the library books that I had picked up, because I was excited about those and not about those other books that I'm pushing out. But the one I did not get to yet, and I just went ahead and renewed these books because I was like, these are not going to be done in time. Well, this one definitely isn't going to be done in time for me to take it back on its due date. And so I am going to be reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes for July. So I have read the first 3 Hunger Games books years ago. Then I just reread them over the past couple of months and was so excited to be able to pick this one up because I have not read this yet. And so I definitely want to get through this so that I can get to Sunrise on the Reaping. So that is the plan. So I'm not going to read any kind of, well, I can just tell you, this is the story of President Snow. So if you read the first 3 books and you know who President Snow is, then you'll know that this is kind of his backstory. This is a pretty hefty book, so I am very excited to get into it and have it for the month of July to read. And yeah, it'll be one that I'm just super excited about. And that's how I want all my reads to be. So that's kind of going forward how we're going to plan these TBRs. Then the next book for my July TBR is actually going to be a buddy read with a girl that I used to be a youth group leader for years. And I was with the same group of girls from 7th grade through 12th grade. So I was with them through 6 years and it was so much fun. And this girl, her name is Hannah. She actually has been watching my channel. She is a big reader and she heard me talking about some books that I'm interested in reading and she had a couple of them on her TBR. So we decided to pick one that we could both read together. And we decided on The Picture of Dorian Gray. And I'm excited because this is not a huge book. And I've heard so many good things about it. I've actually watched a couple people who've just recently read this book and what they had to say about it. So I'm really excited to see what I think of it and what she thinks of it. So Hannah and I will be able to chat back and forth about what we're reading. And that is very exciting to me to be able to have that with her for the month of July. So it says, enthralled by his own exquisite portrait, Dorian Gray exchanges his soul for eternal youth and beauty. Influenced by his friend, Lord Henry Wotton, I don't know how you say his name, he is drawn into a corrupt double life, indulging his desires in secret while remaining a gentleman in the eyes of polite society. Only his portrait bears the traces of his decadence. The Picture of Dorian Gray was a I think it says success de scandale. I don't speak French or whatever that is, so yeah. Early readers were shocked by its hints of unspeakable sins, and the book was later used as evidence against Wilde at his trial at the Old Bailey in 1895. Oh, very interesting. So Oscar Wilde, that wrote this book was actually used against him at his trial. I'm gonna have to look into that. This is something I know nothing about. Okay, very interesting. So it says, this definitive edition includes a selection of contemporary reviews condemning the novel's immorality and the introduction to the first Penguin Classics edition by Peter Ackroyd. So I have heard a lot of things about it being very hedonistic and just, yeah. So I think it's going to be very interesting to read. And I'm very interested in hearing Hannah's perspectives on it. And so, yeah, this is going to be fun. So then I am only picking 4 books for the month of July for my TBR because, like I said, I need to be realistic about how much I'm actually going to be able to read. And I would rather pick things that I'm really excited about and focus on those and not feel like I need to quickly read through these books. Nobody needs to do that. This is all just for fun. And so I have to remind myself of these things sometimes. But I wanted to go ahead and pick up something because I won another giveaway from Goodreads and I am so excited about it. And definitely when I win something, I want to read it and be able to review it right away because that is what they're looking for when you enter these giveaways, is for whoever wins it to read the book and do a review so that they know, what people think of it and to be able to help other readers know, what to expect. So let's get into, so I thought that was super fun, right? Since I'm not picking other books for my TBR for July, I have something interesting to share with you, and that's opening some book mail to have it be my 4th book for July. So let's get into it. So this book actually does not come out until November of this year. So this is an advanced reader copy. And so we'll see what it ends up looking like when the final book comes out. But this is what it looks like right now. It is called Where He Left Me by Nicole Bart. And so this is what we're looking at. And I'm really excited because I needed a suspense thriller. I didn't have any last month, right? Or did I? I don't know. You'll know when you see my June. I'm so like, whoo, time has just escaped me. But anyway, so let me tell you what this says. Sadie Sheridan's new husband, Felix, a professor of planetary sciences, has vowed to never leave her. But when Felix doesn't return from a work trip, Sadie is stranded at Hemlock House, the remote mountain homestead where her husband grew up. Yeah. Doubt creeps into Sadie's heart, then panic. Where is he? Scared and alone in a place that feels haunted, Sadie struggles to make sense of what her missing husband left behind. But when she catches strangers lurking around the property, Hemlock House instantly becomes both a sanctuary and a prison. Navigating threats from outside and in, Sadie is forced to confront shocking secrets that leave her questioning whether she really knows Felix at all. As a powerful storm bears down, she must decide, is she fighting only for her own survival now, or for the man who promised her the stars? Filled with dark menace and the danger of the wild, Where He Left Me is at once heartfelt and heart-pounding, from an author who writes with a poet's eye for language and a storyteller's gift for suspense. So yeah, this sounds like it's going to be so good. It sounds like she also wrote a book called Everything We Didn't Say, that they kind of talk about on here, so maybe that's a more well-known one. I am not familiar with this author, so this is going to be brand new for me, but everything about this is exactly the type of thing I love. That isolated, big manor somewhere, there's a storm that comes in, she's alone and trying to figure out, like, did her husband leave her there on purpose, or did something happen to him? Like, what is going on? So this is right up my alley, and so I am super excited to get into it and be able to share about it with you guys. And so those are my 4 picks for the month of July. A History of Wild Places by Shane Earnshaw, that is moving over from my June TBR to July. So I can't wait to get into this because I was so excited for it last month and I just didn't end up grabbing it. So this, I guess, would be more of a suspense thriller that I didn't get to last month. So I probably didn't read any. So I'm going to double up this month. And then we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. So the 4th installment in the Hunger Games series. And yes, can't wait because I love the Hunger Games so much. And then The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Totally going in a different direction, going to a classic. However, this is going to be like a creepy, it has a little bit of like that, suspense, or that thriller, that mysterious, I was going to say, and mystery. That mystery that we all love. So a little bit of mystery there, and just sounds very interesting. And then, of course, Where He Left Me by Nicole Bart, and sounds just like the type of suspense thriller that I love. So those are my 4 picks for July. What do you guys think of them? Have you read any of these? No spoilers. And I can't wait to get into them and see. I have a feeling I'll be able to get through these and be able to even read something else, so that you'll be seeing in my July reading wrap up that I actually got through more than 4 books. But I thought this was a good place to start. So I'm just trying to be realistic here, which is hard for me because I tend to be like, no, I can totally do this. And then, no, I can't. But sometimes I can, and I surprise myself, so you never know. But thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see if these end up being exactly what I am hoping they will be for the month of July. I guess we'll find out when I do my July wrap up. Thank you. I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.